Hello and welcome to my channel, Re-Vera. My name is Steve, and it's been a while since I posted anything with this all craziness going on. I've just kind of been avoiding news and politics and social media for my own mental health, you could say, and figured it was time to put out some content on what I'm going to be doing next. And I wanted to say first off, this entire thing is so fucked up. That's why I can't spend too much time on news and politics. It just makes me mad and spins me all out of shape. So first off, Trump is absolutely messing everything up in a historic manner. He could not be handling this pandemic worse. That's one half. The other half is that the Democratic and the liberal establishment's messaging regarding Trump's blundering is also historically fucking bad. And that just pisses me off even more, because the whole country should be mad at Trump right now, but they're not, because of how badly this messaging is getting out there. So the way the debate seems to go is you have Democrats on the side of shutting everything down, and the right wing is starting to be on the side of opening everything up. This is a fucking stupid debate. Nobody wants to be shut down in their house. Shutdown is not popular. Why would we be in favor of something that's not popular? We should be saying, of course we don't want to shut down. The shutdown is Trump's fault because we have no other option because of how horribly he's handling this pandemic. That's the messaging that we need to be giving. And it's true. This is 100% Trump's fault. You don't need to shut down an entire country if the feds are handling the pandemic like they're fucking supposed to. It's their job. They're the only ones that have the power and the central organizing to do this. Trump, as the executive, could nationalize the supply chain, turn out PPE, personal protective equipment, and test like nobody's business. If you're not sure, if you don't understand how this works, this is an established part of our law. This is the Defense Production Act. We do it in wartime and in crisis mode, and all it works is like, what do we need for these tests? We need Q-tips. We have a Q-tip shortage, which unbelievably is a real fucking thing. So what do? You go, okay, what factories can be retooled real quick to make Q-tips? This factory, cool. You guys are not making Q-tips. Doesn't matter what you're doing before, that's what you're doing now. Next, we need cotton. Who's got the cotton? Well, this t-shirt factory over here has cotton. Cool, your cotton, now our cotton. We're sending military transport trucks to transfer it over right now. And you just have a central organizing that's like, obviously these companies are being paid. You know, the government has deep pockets. They print the money. They're being paid fair market wages for the materials that are being taken, the factories, all this stuff. So nobody's getting hurt by this. It's just national central organizing, and you can turn the United States might not be the manufacturing powerhouse it used to be. We're still a manufacturing powerhouse. We can turn out anything we want in very short order. So why aren't we? Because Trump sucks. That's why. And if we had enough tests to test everybody and enough masks for everybody to wear, we wouldn't have to quarantine everybody. You can just quarantine the sick people. Another way he's failing is, where's the investigation into the COVID cases that are confirmed? I know people, I know people who know people, I should say, who have been confirmed to have COVID-19. Nobody's interviewing them and finding out who they've been in contact with. We should have, like, all the investigative branches of the United States government should be working on backtracking confirmed COVID cases and testing everybody they've been into contact with. And if you can't track it, if they've been in contact with too many people, you shut down the whole area locally. That way you're shutting down like neighborhoods instead of the whole country. This isn't happening. Also, quarantine needs to be fucking quarantine. It needs to be enforced. You don't have somebody that's confirmed to have the pandemic, and then the doctor's like, yeah, you need to stay at home. That's not quarantine. People are people. They're going to not take it seriously. They're going to see that it's just the flu, and they don't feel that bad anymore, so they feel cabin sick, so they go out and they go to the park, and they feel like they're keeping their distance, but they're still breathing, and they're still touching things, and other people are just touching what they're touching, and maybe they go to the grocery store because they need food, and now other people are sick. That's not quarantine. Quarantine needs to be enforced and the people protected so that they're not like trying to fight it. So that means that they're not losing their house, they're not losing their job, they have all their supplies brought to them. Like, they're protected, but it's also enforced for everyone else's safety. So that's like just 3 things off the top of my head that are obviously Trump's fault that he's not doing right. And I don't see the liberal mainstream media or Democrats calling him out on this, which makes it like seem debatable. Like, this is being handled so historically bad. It is possible Biden can win in 2020 without even trying. He can just use the same strategy he used in the primary, which is hide, and he could still win because of how unpopular Trump could be if this all backfires on him. But it might not backfire on him. At this point, it could just as easily backfire on the weak-ass Democrats who are also not doing much of anything for the people and aren't fighting for the people, and their pandemic stimulus plan, not that great. Still about most of it's still going to bail out corporations and not helping regular people. Obviously, I mean, this is like patently obvious. The best thing we could do is put a freeze on mortgage payments and rent payments and lease payments, whether it's commercial or residential, for the next 6 months or what have you. Nobody needs to pay any mortgage, any lease, any rent. What that does is it makes small businesses who have to pay for this to stay alive, it takes the pressure off them. It also helps them pay, keep living, because you can't pay for your commercial rent and your personal rent or mortgage when you don't have people coming into your business because of all this. It takes the pressure off everybody. The only people it hurts at the end of the day are the banks. And the banks can take all the money they need at 0% from the feds. So the banks are going to be all right. That makes this the obvious solution. But instead we're doing a weak-ass $1,200 checks to people who qualify for it, which a lot of people don't. We didn't. I think I was denied because I might not be in their system as a U.S. citizen, even though I am. Because, anyway, long story. So that's, my wife qualified for part of it, but who's going to live on $1,200 anyway? I'm like, what a weak-ass plan. So this has the potential to backfire on Democrats just as much as Trump. And that brings me finally to the last part, which is what we should be doing electorally for 2020. And I've been debating this in my head for, I don't know, it seems like about 3 years, ever since Bernie suspended his campaign, which, it probably wasn't even a month ago. I lost track, I don't know. And I've been debating it, and I was going to do a stream. I still might if somebody wants to do it with me that has an established audience, like Theory Playber, Swallowtarid, or somebody. But I wanted to do a spreadsheet of pros and cons for the different options we have electorally. The options are campaign for and vote for Biden. Vote for Biden. Vote for Trump. Campaign for Trump. Just different levels of support. You also have Green Party, write-in, protest, etc. And I wanted to do pros and cons on every issue, trying to establish a weight for each one, and add it up mathematically. And after thinking about it for quite a while, I was finally like, you know what? It's such a freaking toss-up. I don't fucking care anymore. I just don't care who wins. I legitimately do not care whether it's Biden or Trump. I don't think there's that big a difference. Now, I'll grant you in a 4-year period, if you only consider a 4-year period, Biden is the lesser evil. Here's the thing, though. If you consider decade after decade after endless fucking decade of us being forced into choosing a continually more evil lesser evil. Nah, I think Biden's or Trump's the lesser evil. Because that's going to lead to a whole lot more suffering. It's time mainstream Democrats and liberals who fucking voted for Biden get the fucking message that if you don't give us somebody the left can enthusiastically support, you will not win. I think we need to send that message loud and clear. We need to give them Trump. And they can suffer under Trump, because here's the reality. Yes, Trump is bad for everybody, but he's a whole lot worse for mainstream Democrats and liberals than he is for the leftists, because Trump actually outflanks Biden to the left on some issues. Most notably, foreign policy. I have zero doubt that if Biden was president from 2016 on, we would be in war with Iran right now. The entire mainstream establishment, right and left, was pretty much begging Trump to go to war with Iran, and he didn't. He's also left Syria, which was fucked up because he left the Kurds out to dry, but it was getting us out of a country, so in the grand scheme of things, it could have been worse. And he's negotiating an exit from Afghanistan right now versus the guy who was an enthusiastic supporter of the Iraq war and said Bush would get a Nobel Peace Prize if he invaded Iraq. If you're adding up the pros and cons and weighting everything according to how many lives each policy could cost, you're talking millions of lives on the pro-Trump side here. Which pains me to say, because Trump is goddamn fucking horrible. Goddamn horrible. But so is Biden. Pick an issue. He's just as bad. The main thing everybody tells me as soon as I say this, because I've trialed this take out on Facebook, and of course right away you get the justices. Well, Biden would appoint better justices than Trump would. Would he though? Because here's the thing: the whole Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas thing. B, Biden and Obama let McConnell steal a Supreme Court justice from them. They didn't need to do that. A lot of legal constitutional scholars were saying, no, that's your right as president. You need to just appoint them. If the Senate won't confirm, then they're failing in their duty. You still confirm them. You just put them on the bench and let them sue if they don't like it. You can fight that. They refuse to fight it. So the difference isn't who does Biden pick versus who does Trump pick. The difference is who does Trump pick versus who McConnell picks. Because Biden will not fucking fight McConnell. He will placate McConnell. McConnell will drag his heels and fight, and I don't think we're going to take the Senate with the way it's looking now. Not with Biden being leading the ticket. It's just highly doubtful. So you're going to have to deal with McConnell. And Biden won't fight it for that. He'll give him what he wants. So no, at the end of the day, I don't think there's that big a difference. I mean, Biden and Obama built the freaking camps that Trump's filling with illegal immigrants and legal asylum seekers. They deported millions of people. When confronted with this issue, Biden tells you to go vote for Trump. He refuses to apologize for it. What issue is Biden significantly better on? He's marginally better on some issues, but again, if you look at the grand scheme of things, over decades, mainstream Democrats need to get the message that if they ever want to win again, they better nominate somebody the left can enthusiastically support, or they won't win. That message is worth 4 more years of Trump. So I think that's my take right now. I'm with Kyle Kulinski on this. It's important, you and me might not have a whole lot of influence by ourselves. We have the most power when we operate as a bloc. Kyle Kulinski is one of the biggest leftists out there. And his take right now is that Biden needs to earn our vote. Otherwise, he doesn't get it. I agree. If Biden was to nominate a progressive VP, even somebody as weak-ass progressive as, say, Elizabeth Warren, that would make me reconsider my calculations. If he picked a true progressive, I would vote for him and campaign for him enthusiastically. But right now, he's flipping off the left. Right now, he said he would veto Medicare for All. Medicare for All, which has won the exit poll of every single primary state. He said he'd veto it. He flipped off the entire Democratic base, the entire left base. The majority of the freaking country want that. And you're going to flip us all off? Okay, I guess Trump's not that bad then. I think the hypothetical that was given to Biden was if somehow, which is unlikely, the House and the Senate passed some version of Medicare for All and put it to his desk, what would he do? And he said he'd veto it. Do you think Trump would veto that? I'm willing to bet if it passed the House and the Senate, Trump would sign no matter what was in it, just so he could call it Trump Care. Because he's a narcissistic piece of shit. But at the end of the day, we would have universal health care because he could put his name on it. Biden wouldn't, because he's more indebted to the corporate interests that own him than Trump is. So they both suck. I don't really care which one wins, but I do think mainstream Democrats need to get the fucking message. And it's a perfect time to do it because Trump is actually, for the left, if you're weighing things from the left's perspective, from the working people's perspective, it's a toss-up. We don't care. Mainstream Democrats and liberals do care. That gives us more leverage. And I think it's time we sent the message. So please comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. I might even be willing to have a conversation with you live because I'm not... I sound pretty passionate about it, but I'm still open to talking about it. I might change my position. But that's where I'm at right now. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Stay safe.